Good morning, church. Good morning. If you don't mind, please open up to Philippians 4. That'll be our text for today. A while back, there was a YouTube video shooting around. It was called Everything's Amazing, Nobody's Happy. The part of it was this comedian did kind of a bit, and he was going around like how amazing we have these technological marvels, giant leaps in technology that make our life just so much easier, but yet nobody's happy. My favorite part of the clip is when he starts to ask people about their airplane rides and their flights that they take, and how people always complain the seat doesn't go back too far, the airplane gets on the tarmac too long, you have to wait too long to get off, and they just complain. The guy was like, yeah, but you're flying. You're sitting in a chair in the air. It's amazing. You can travel from LA to New York in 5 hours. 1930s, when those things first started coming around, it took 25 hours to get there, with 17 stops. Yeah, we complain for a 5-hour little trip. But, even though life is a little more comfortable, and even though we've got all these technological marvels, we still find a way to complain, to groan and to mumble. In fact, we seem to get a little less and less content as society. We are becoming more and more spoiled and entitled as a result of a nationwide epidemic of discontentment. We don't really know how to be content. We're constantly bombarded by advertisements. They're telling us that our life is lacking. You're lacking the newest iPhone. You're not cool enough. You don't have the coolest toy. You don't have the best career. Come to my college, I'll get you the best career. Advertisements are counting on us that you're lacking in life. And sometimes we also think that, the world owes me something because of a past accomplishment. I graduated from college. Where's my corner office? These attitudes that we have create discontent and ingratitude, and are some of the ugliest symptoms of humanity's sinful pride. Whether you believe or not, it's something we all can struggle with. And since this week was Thanksgiving and Christmas right around the corner, I'd like us to take a step back to, refocus about this ability to be content within our lives. How do we become content? How do we stop taking things for granted? How can we find joy no matter what life brings us? One guy figured this out, the Apostle Paul. If you follow along as I read Philippians 4:10, it'll tell you his story about contentment. Verse 10, I rejoice greatly in the Lord. At last you renewed your concern for me. Indeed, you were concerned, but you had no opportunity to show it. I'm not saying this because I'm in need, for I've learned to be content, whatever the circumstance. I know what it is to be in need. I know what it is to have plenty. I've learned the secret of being content in any and every situation. Whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want, I can do all this through Him who gives me strength. So, at first we can see in verses 11 that contentment is a learned virtue. Not something that you're going to wake up and you're going to have. Not something that somebody can just give you contentment. It's something that you're going to have to put a little bit of blood, sweat, and tear and work into it in order to find it. And if we flip on over, now you see verse 13 also pops out of us. So we also find that contentment comes through Christ. But lastly, the last one we talked about, you have to dig just a little bit deeper. If we get a little bit of background info about this passage here, Philippi was probably not the most well-off church. You can see that Paul is thanking them for the gift that they give him, this monetary gift. But he also says that it's been a while since your last one, and that's okay. I've seen that you sacrificed, you struggled to get there, and I want to thank you for it. So Paul is also thinking that, it's not just because of you, it's because of God. God has been able to allow you in your lives to send me this gift, and I want to thank God for that. I thank God He just sent me this gift. So lastly, in verses 10, we see that contentment is also realizing God's providence in our lives. Realizing that God is always going to be there for you. God's going to be there when the good times are there, when we're on that high tide and you're rolling good. And God's going to be there during the low times. If you want an example of that, just read the book of Job. God was always there for Job, even at the highs and at the lows. Paul says, thanks a lot for the gift. I appreciate it, but I don't need it because my contentment does not come from material things. But, by nature, we're complainers. We grumble and we whine and we argue. Probably the most obvious biblical example is Exodus. Here, the Israelites, they're enslaved and persecuted in Egypt. They can't get out. They're whining and complaining to God, look how awful our lives are. Set us free, set us free, set us free. So he sends Moses. Moses performs with God all these miraculous miracles and gets them out of Egypt. And right as soon as they cross the Red River, or the Red Sea, they start complaining again. I mean, it didn't take that long. We're not taught how to complain, but we're really, really good at it. But for some reason, we always have to learn to be content. Like our kids. We don't teach our kids how to complain, but they're really good at it. They complain about how their socks are too tight. They complain about the carrots in their food or about the carrots that weren't in their food. They complain about they didn't get the right sticker from the teacher. And we try to teach them, you got to be content with what you have. You got to accept that. Life isn't always just so bad because you don't have carrots. But to a kid, it's like it's almost a life and death scenario. But true contentment is not about being comfortable and getting your way. If that's the only way we can find peace, then we're going to be unhappy a lot. It isn't found what's happening on the outside, but what's going on the inside. If we look at verse 12, we can read. Paul explains that contentment isn't about circumstances. He says, I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. Paul had been poor, and he had found contentment there. He had a time when he was wealthy and well-fed, and found contentment there. Paul was in prison, persecuted, shipwrecked, mocked. There were times when he was surrounded by all his loved ones, and there was times when he was all alone. But in all those scenarios, he found contentment. So what is it? What's the big secret that Paul had that we don't have? What are we trying to search for? What contentment did Paul find? We can see this in verse 13. I can do all things through him who gives me strength. Contentment is only found in Christ. True, lasting, lifelong contentment is only possible when we rely on Christ for everything. So the secret of contentment is Christ. I can't and I won't be content without him. It doesn't really matter how great my circumstances might be. If I don't have Christ in my life, then it's going to be fleeting and empty joy. Just think about when Jesus spoke to the Samaritan woman at the well. He says, anybody who drinks this water is going to be thirsty again. But anybody who drinks the water I give them will never thirst. Yet, it will create them a spring of life that will well up to eternity. If my life is all about momentary attempts to obtain happiness, it will be elusive and fleeting. So many people are unhappy with their jobs, with their marriages, or with their life in general, with their self-image. They try to cast off their wife or spouse for a better-looking one that's more handsome, or maybe has better manners. They're always trying to change their body image with plastic surgery. They're always going back to school or they're going job hunting all the time, bouncing from one job to another just to find the one that fits them the best. But yet, no matter what they do, there's always that sense that's just stuck in their chest. They just can't get it off. What am I missing? Why can I never be happy? Why is the joy always fleeting from me? But just because that we have God doesn't mean we magically have contentment. I wish that were so, but it doesn't happen that way. As soon as you're baptized, it doesn't mean you're just going to be happy with whatever circumstances you're going to get. You're going to have to work for it. Like we said, it's a learned virtue. So the question you might ask yourself is, how do I learn to be a content Christian? How do I learn the secret Paul discovered? How can I find real peace and joy at all times in my life? It starts by recognizing your obstacles. What keeps you from contentment? I'll share a few with you right now. The number one that I know of is greed. If you flip over to Hebrews 13, starting at verse 5. It says, keep your lives free from the love of money and be content with what you have. Because God says, I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. So say with confidence, the Lord is my helper. I will not be afraid. What can mere mortals do to me? How many times have we said, if only I won the lottery? How many times we said when it was up so high? No, maybe I can get a whole bunch of people in and chip in a little bit of money, and maybe we can just try to split, get so many tickets, and maybe we'll have a chance to win the lottery and split it up. I have as much money as I want. I can donate to the church. I get the Pecos River encampment fixed up. I can pay off the rent. I can buy me a new truck finally. We say all these things. If I had just a little bit more money, if I just had a little bit less debt, maybe if I had a little bit more stuff, then I can find joy in my life. Then I'll be happy. But the love of money is not only the root of all evil, it's just an empty love. The more you have it, it's just never going to satisfy you. It only breeds more discontentment. That's why the Bible says it's so hard for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. Paul specifically mentions that he has learned how to be content with little and how he has been content with a lot. He appreciates the time of plenty, but doesn't let the times of poverty rob him of his joy in Christ. Along those same lines, another contentment killer is envy. James 3:16, for where you have envy and selfish ambition, there you find disorder in every evil practice. Envy is being greedy of your neighbor, of someone next to you, your boss, your co-worker, your brother, your sister, your parents, anybody in your life. When your eyes are fixed horizontally, how then can your focus be on Christ and the Father above? Philippians 4:19, and my God will supply your needs according to his riches and glories in Christ Jesus. Here we want God. We need to surrender our timetable and our future to him. Discontentment is due to the wrong focus. If we focus on other things and others, then we'll be discontent. But if we focus on God, living each day in the light of his glory, the things of this earth will pale in comparison. Another major obstacle that we tend to run into sometimes is a feeling of self-entitlement. The world owes me something because of my past accomplishment. The world owes me because I won state in football. Or the world owes me because I won state in track. The world owes me something because look what I've done. We read over in 1 Timothy, but godliness comes with contentment. But godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into this world, and we'll take nothing out of it. But if we have food and clothing, we'll be content with that. The world doesn't owe you anything. You're not more special or privileged than the next guy. You didn't take anything in this world, and we can't take anything out of it. So we shouldn't think more highly of ourselves than we ought to. I'd like to tell you the story here of a man who went up to his minister, and he was pretty much on the brink of bankruptcy, financial collapse. And he went to the minister and he's like, I've lost everything. And the minister says, I'm so sorry to hear that you lost your faith. And the man says, no, you're not listening. I've lost everything. I haven't lost my faith. I've lost everything. The minister says, my apologies. I'm so sorry that you lost your character. The man's like, no, you're not listening. I haven't lost my character. I've lost everything. The minister is like, I'm so sorry that you lost your salvation. The man says, no, you're not listening. I haven't lost my salvation. I've lost everything. The minister then replies that you have your character, you have your faith, you have your salvation. It seems to me you haven't lost anything that really matters in life. See, his focus was on things horizontal. He was trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to keep up with the Kardashians. He couldn't do it. It was on the financial bankruptcy. We need to make sure we keep our eyes focused vertically, not horizontally worrying about our neighbor, worrying about our brother, worrying about our parents. Because where I was always thinking, okay, I'm 30, I should be exactly where my parents are to be, in their financial state. I have a house and cars, and I should be where they are. But I'm not. Still getting there, but I'm not there yet. Now I find content with where I'm at. I find contentment with who I am. I find very much content with my family. And that's what I'm focused on. I focus on Christ, and Christ really has given me everything I need. We can actually learn contentment in a couple of different ways, though. First, through giving. That feeling of peace and joy you have when you do give out to people? When you take a little bit of moment out of your reach out to someone that's hurting. When you give financially to someone in need. If you haven't, then you're really missing out on a lot of blessings. Because then when you take that time to focus on somebody else's needs, to see what they lack, to see what they're missing, then you realize all the blessings that you have. You can be thankful for what you got. It's just another way to readjust our priorities. To shift our focus again from looking horizontally to looking above. When we see what people are missing, we realize what we really truly have. And it's a blessing that we have these. If church attendance and mirror conscience thither are an ego boost, then maybe we have the wrong motives. The more you realize, or the more you give, the more you realize that stuff isn't all important in life. The more you really hang on to it, the more selfish you become. Start giving, even in the little ways. It'll help you learn the secret of contentment. Secondly, we develop contentment when we practice thankfulness. We have Thanksgiving. A lot of us like to go around the table and we say one thing we're thankful for. So this is a good time that we can really reflect on stuff that truly is a blessing to us. Truly is like, I can be content in my life. Look what all I got. I got food on the table. I got friends and family around me. And what more can I? What more could I want? But how often do we actually stop and count our blessings? Are we only doing it this one time out of the year? How often do we dwell on the good things? How often do we tell our spouse how much we're thankful for them and what they do? How often do we thank God for our home, our job, and our car? How good are we expressing our appreciation to those who sacrifice for us? I think we're kind of lousy at showing our appreciation at sometimes. The more we thank God for the good, the easier it is we're going to be able to thank Him for when the bad times roll around. But ultimately, contentment is an outworking of our faith. Our faith of our trust in God. Putting our faith in Him. Our relationship with Him continuing to grow and cultivate. The closer our relationship with God is, the more we trust Him, and the less we'll be bothered by the circumstances of our life. We can rest easy because we're not resting on what we can do. We're resting on what God can do. And He's the creator of all things. He can do whatever He wants. We can rest in His power and His sufficiency, not our own. That's how Paul can boldly proclaim, I can do all this through Him who gives me strength. Make it a point to rest in Christ's sufficiency, trust Him in every trial, and thank Him for every blessing. I got two more stories. There was this missionary that was overseas, and he was into this colony. It was almost a leper colony. And hard to see these people that are, their flesh is just rotting off of them. Just their noses are falling off, their ears are falling off, their fingers are falling off. And it's hard to think that anybody could be thankful. And he was kind of going around and asking, to the women there that, there was a song they wanted to sing for him to lead during their worship. And one of these lepers ladies asked, can we sing Count Your Many Blessings? And when he got back to the States, he told the story to his church, and one of the people came up to him and said, well, can you ever lead that song again? It's like, no. Well, yeah, I can lead it, but it'll never be the same to me. Realizing what we have versus this lady who is decaying from the outside is still able to count all of her blessings. And lastly, the story of a young man. Tim Bernardine was from Spring Lake, Michigan, was a great student at Hope College. He was a tall man, broad-shouldered, curly hair, handsome as can be. Kind of like me, not really. But he took a job out of college. He graduated, took a job in Johnson Controls. And kind of quickly went up the ladder. On a November afternoon, Tim called his old professor, also named Tim, but we'll call him Professor Brown. So Professor Brown answered, hey Tim, how are you doing? And Tim replied, I'm not doing so good. I'm in the hospital in Grand Rapids, and my parents are out of town. I think I got the flu or something. And Professor Brown said, all right, well, I'm going to be in Grand Rapids this afternoon. Would you mind if I come by and see you? Tim's like, I would like that a lot. So the professor, he goes by there, and by the time he gets there, the course of doctors have seen him. And it wasn't the flu, it was leukemia. And that was the start of the 3-year battle for Tim. That he would maybe win, or he would maybe lose. They didn't know. 3 years down the road, Professor Brown goes back to see Tim in room 5255 of the cancer hospital there. And he walks into the room, and Tim's mother's in the corner crying. You can blame her. Her son's dying on the bed. He's on his side, pillows in between his weak little knees. His hair's not curly anymore. He has no energy to look up at you. So Professor Brown gets down on one knee and he says, Tim, I'm here. And Tim's like, hey, Professor, it's good to see you. And he realizes, like, you know, Professor, I've realized something. The professor was like, well, what have you realized, Tim? He's like, I realized life is not like a VCR. The professor's like, well, what do you mean by that? I don't understand. What do you mean life's not like a VCR? Tim's like, you can't fast forward through the bad parts. You can't rewind to the good parts. And the professor's quiet. Been a minister for 20 years. He didn't know what to say. But Tim broke the silence and says, but I realized that Jesus Christ is in every frame. And right now, that's enough.
Amen.
Tim had found the reason, found contentment in Christ. Realized that even when it was up high, there was Christ. And even when he was down low, Christ was still with him. If there's anything this church body can do for you, you need to come forward to confess your sins and put on Jesus in baptism to start your journey to contentment. Please come forward as we do so. As we stand and sing.